Hi everyone, welcome back to Sashay Way with Barry. I'm back. It is season 13, episode 12. The Good Girl Roast, I think that's the name of it. We'll see it later in the photos. I think it's called Good Girl or Nice Girl Roast, maybe. I don't know. But we're gonna hear and we're gonna talk about it. But first, if you want to follow along with me on Instagram at Sashay Way with Barry, you can toot and boot the looks of this week's runway. There wasn't a runway, so we're gonna toot and boot the looks of the roast apparently, because that was their runway looks. And we will do that this weekend, starting probably, I don't know, I want to say Saturday, but maybe Sunday. It depends when I can get all the photos together. I'm gonna wait to see if they post their Instagram photos fast enough and we can use those. Otherwise, I have to take screenshots, and the screenshots are not very good, which you will see coming up when we get to the photos. But you can follow me on Sashay Way with Barry, and it will be in my Insta story sometime this weekend, Saturday or Sunday. But look Saturday morning, Saturday morning, New York City time. That is Eastern Standard Time, and it's usually around 9 a.m. If they're not there, look on Sunday because they'll be there on Sunday for sure. But we're going to talk about this roast episode first. I guess we're saying goodbye to Tina Burner. It was a weird workroom with that. I think some of the queens were not happy that Utica got to stay and Tina Burner went home. It was Tina Burner's time. She wasn't doing anything for the show. And I was enjoying Utica more on the season. So I was happy that Utica stayed, and I actually liked her lip sync better. I said that last week. My boyfriend liked Tina Burner's better. It was a close call. Candy Muse clearly liked Tina Burner's and thought Utica should go home. But Utica's a weirdo. We all know that. But I feel like she knows that her time is running out on the show. And she was giving that to us this episode a lot. But we're going to get right into it. So I'm going to share my screen so we can look at these photos. Oh, I jumped right to it. This was our mini challenge, and the girls had to pair up to do each other's makeup. And this is Rosé and Candy Muse. Rosé is obviously the face. Candy Muse is the hands. She can't see what makeup she is putting on her. And Rosé is having to describe it as Candy does it. We had our guest judge, I think her name was Novena from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And this is the Novena collection that they are showing us as well. So that was part of the mini challenge. This was really funny. I really appreciated it. And this was Rosé's final look. This is a very close picture, which they should not do because this is obviously quick drag, and then Candy Muse destroyed her face, but she looks like a man. Her face, her lines are so strong, but they did a great job together. It was very funny. Next, we have Simone and Olivia Lux, and Simone is our model. Olivia Lux is putting on the makeup. I love that they're showcasing the product. Always a good thing, but it just wasn't very funny. It didn't kind of go anywhere. And this is what Simone looked like at the end. She didn't really have much makeup on her face. I love that she's wearing Olivia's wig, which I thought was a nice little touch. But this makeup, it didn't do anything. Finally, we have Gottmik and Utica. I wish I had a picture further back, but I love this picture because Utica put eyelash glue on her lips, which was crazy. But the two of them, because Gottmik is so small and Utica's arms were so long, it was just a crazy visual of the two of them together. It was very funny. And Utica was just slapping makeup on wherever she felt like it. This was the the ending look of Gottmik and Utica. It doesn't look terrible. I mean, it could be some kind of weird abstract. I think Gottmik said it, a typical Gottmik look. And it could be something weird like that. So that was that. But we had our winners, and of course it was Rosé and Candy Muse. They did the best job. Rosé did a great job explaining what Candy was doing, and I think that's the reason they won. They each win $2,500 gift card to Anastasia of Beverly Hills for makeup. That is a great prize for these queens. I hope they get their prize. I know there's been things in the past where they haven't gotten their mini challenge prizes, so I hope that's not the case this year. Give them their prizes, they earned them. They also get the honor of assigning the order of the roast. And they have to do that together. This is the first time I think they've had to do that. Two people have had to do that together. So that's an interesting thing. And they were very fair about it. Candy Muse, they both wanted to go first, but Candy Muse is going to go first, followed by Simone, Utica, Gottmik, Olivia, and then Rosé is taking up the challenge and closing out the show. She wasn't sure she wanted to, but she said, this is Drag Race, got to take a risk. And I give her props for doing that. I think this is fine. The order was fine. The other three queens are not comedy queens, so Candy Muse is just gonna be loud and brash, and that's gonna serve her well. Rosé is funny, and the rest are just not funny queens. We'll see later how that actually goes down, but I think anyone that's following Candy, no one has to follow Rosé, which is a great thing for them because they would have all failed. The one following Candy Muse is going to have the toughest time because she's going to be so, she'll be entertaining. I will say that this is the kind of challenge for her. And then everyone else, you know, who cares? And I think, yeah, who Gottmik following Utica, it gave Gottmik a little bit of an edge because we all knew Utica was probably not going to do well at this. And so it gave her a little bit of an edge, but again, she's not the funniest queen in the world, but that's just the way it is. This is RuPaul on the runway in a bodysuit with a tool train. This is something RuPaul hasn't worn in years. And I will say this picture actually makes it look better than I thought it looked on the runway, because I thought her makeup looked weird on the runway. It actually looks fine here, and I don't like this hair on her. The hair is my biggest problem with it. I think her body looks phenomenal in this. She is wearing gloves, and we'll see that she does take those off at some point. Yeah, I don't know what, I'm confused by the look because I want to like it, but there's things about it that I just don't enjoy that much. So I'm probably in the minority here, but I'm not a big fan of this look as a whole. I'm hoping to get a better photo of this because I want to see what it really, really looks like. Nice Girls Rose, that's the name of our episode. That is the name of our challenge. Poor Bruno has the TV-14 language bar over his face. But here are our pit crew. They weren't on this episode. They just got to be in this little flyer for it. And this roast, they are roasting the 3 of the past Miss Congenialities. That is Valentina from season 9. I wonder why they didn't pick season 10 instead of season 9. I guess they just wanted, I mean, Valentina's local as well, but Nina West isn't. She's from Ohio. But season 10 would have been Monet Exchange. Season 11 was obviously Nina West who was there, and season 12, our current Miss Congeniality, Heidi N. Closet. We start with Candy Muse. This is her look. It is her runway look as well, which there was no runway, so we didn't get to see that. She did exactly what I thought. She was loud and brash, and some of her jokes were funny. I'm giving her props this week, everyone. You hear that? So I think she did a fine job. She started out the way she needed to. Her body was snatched in this, so I give her props for that as well. Michelle said it on the runway. The wig is not great. This choker on her neck is just kind of being swallowed up by her head. So I think she needs something to elongate her a little more. I don't know what that is. I mean, I don't have a neck either, so I'm not one to judge, but I feel like if she had some kind of drop, it would have elongated her rather than just like, it looks like a belt around her neck. Again, she did a great job on this challenge. I have nothing bad to say about it. Thank you very much. Next, we had Simone looking stunning in this picture, I gotta say. When I snapped this picture off of it, I was like, wow, she looks so good. Good thing she looks good because she was not good in this challenge. Kind of knew that she wasn't gonna do well. She knew she wasn't gonna do well. I think that really messed with her head, going into it, thinking that it wasn't her challenge. But all you gotta do is be better than 2. That is what I say. You just gotta be better than 2. She got lost along the way in her jokes. They weren't really even jokes. She tried to be, her little sassy character, and it kind of worked, but because there were no jokes, it just didn't go anywhere. Yeah, it just was bad all around. But damn, does she look good in this picture. Oh, so beautiful. Utica Queen in this outfit that I love. I think it is an exact representation of Utica. I love that it's kooky and weird, and this crazy print with this long coat and the ruffled sleeves and the fucking ball fascinator on her head. I don't understand any of it. I don't know how it all goes together, but it just works for her. So I think she looks great. Her comedy was terrible. I mean, really, really bad. It did give us one of the greatest moments in Drag Race herstory that I will talk about in a bit. But her comedy was just not good. It was offensive, and now I've kind of decided that maybe she's fat phobic because she's now called two of the judges fat. She called Nina West fat. Yeah, I'm like, girl, it's not funny. It's not funny at all. And I hope people don't come for her. But I hope she realizes what she did. I'm pretty sure she did realize what she did was awful. But I hope people don't come after her because of that, because I honestly think I don't, maybe she is, maybe she isn't, I don't know. But it came off that way to me because now this is the second judge that she's called fat. She kind of, her reads were just mean, whereas a read should be funny based in truth, but not mean-spirited, and they came across mean-spirited. Maybe it was just her delivery that made it that way. I don't know. It was just really, really bad. Gottmik is in this cute little dress. I love the shoulders on it. I love that she's giving us some body. You can't really see it behind this podium, but she did. Oh, you can see it on a little bit on the left where she cinched her waist in and had some hips. I think the hair is cute. I think the makeup is great. Her routine was better than I expected it to be. She had some really funny jokes. She also had the shortest of the shortest section. I don't know if they edited it down, if there wasn't just enough good stuff to make it work with the narrative. And that narrative is to push her along. I think she probably could have done that with no matter what her jokes were, because the ones that were bad were just really bad. But I think they really edited it down because we didn't get any roasting of the Miss Congeniality from her. It was all about the judges, and I think she roasted Utica right away, which obviously was an easy one to go into, but then she roasted the judges and then it was over. So I think that it might have been a little bit of producer heavy-handedness there in editing, just to make her look funnier than it was. But it was funny, I will say that. Next, we have Olivia Lux. She put on a little child act, I guess. I didn't really get it at first, but the second time I watched it, I was like, okay, I get it, understand. She did little baby talk almost. This outfit is awful. I don't know why she's wearing this. My boyfriend hated her wig, and I was like, the wig is the only thing of this that I like. The dress is so ugly. Ugh, I don't like it. Her comedy was not great, but she had one of the best jokes of the night, and that was of RuPaul signing at the Declaration of Independence or Constitution, one of them, as the parent/guardian. Was hysterical, and everyone went crazy for it. It was the funniest joke of the night, and so I think that helped her just a tiny bit. But the rest of it just wasn't funny. She's not a roaster. She's not a comedy queen, and she did her best with what she had. So I give her props for that. Finally, we have Rosé closing the show. I love this faux hawk wig that she is wearing. I love the outfit. I think is interesting and cute. And RuPaul called it out on the runway that it's very Sheila E, and it totally is. And when she said that, I was like, oh my God, I totally get it. Rosé killed this challenge. I thought she was by far the funniest one out there. Closing the show is the worst spot to be in because you are the last one that they see, and there's no one to go after you to bomb to make you look better. I think she killed it. I honestly was so surprised that she did not win. But spoiler alert, she didn't win. But everything she said was funny. And she's quick and just right on and right on and right on. So yeah, I think it's just another producer narrative thing, that she didn't win. She was obviously in the top because she, I guess, was second place this week. Um, I don't know. They sent her back safety first, so maybe she was third, which just makes zero sense to me. But I don't produce the show. Now we're gonna get to my favorite moment of the episode. Oh, sorry, no, we're not. These are just our three roastees. They got a little bit of chance to also roast, and Valentina didn't. She just, talked about herself, which is kind of her thing. But I think she looks gorgeous in this gown. I don't know if you all watch Untucked, but I don't know if she took the bottom of this gown off, because when she was walking back, her ass was out. So she clearly had nothing on, and was wearing a thong underneath that. But she looks great. Nina West, and in her Pride, love is love is love is love is love dress. I think the dress is actually really cute. The wig is a little suspect, but I love Nina West and I think she can do no wrong. So I appreciate her. And I would wear this dress. I think she did a great job on the show. And finally, we have Heidi N Closet giving us Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal. This is a really cool outfit. If you can see the whole thing, it's really, really interesting. And one of the best things she's ever worn. She did get red on the roast for her fashion on season 12. And this is kind of a throw it in your face and say, look where I'm at now. So bravo to her. Now, my favorite moment, and this was with Utica. Utica said, RuPaul, you are such a fashion icon. Can you please stand up? And it is a well-known fact that RuPaul takes off her drag when she sits down behind that judge's panel. So that is why she did not stand up, and she flipped everyone off. You'll also notice that she took off her gloves, and her nails aren't painted, and she's not wearing nails. And she has man hands. I think it's really, really funny. I'm going to pay more closer attention to see when she wears gloves from now on, and then if she takes them off when she's behind the judges panel. But this is what I'm talking about. This wig, I just don't love. I think it's messy. Her makeup here is fine. So her makeup must have been fine. It must have just looked weird when she was walking on the runway to me. She does have that LaToya nose painted on. It's just the wig, I think, that I don't like. It's just too, however, this image will be circulated in memes for years and years and years to come. So bravo, Utica, you have made it into the herstory of RuPaul's Drag Race by getting RuPaul to flip you the bird. And she did it more than once. So way to go. The winner of this week's challenge is Candy Muse. Again, I don't agree with this. I'm not saying Candy should have been at the bottom. I thought she was probably second best, followed by Got Mick, but I thought Rosé won. I know you hear me say it all the time. I'm a huge Rosé stan, but I really think she won this challenge. And they just didn't give it to her to push this Candy Muse narrative along, because Candy Muse is now going to be going to the top 4, I believe. And there is no way around it. I think Olivia Lux has no chance of making it, even though Olivia has won 2 challenges so far, and Candy has only won 1. But we'll see next week. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe next week is Candy's to go home. Who knows? But she won, and she wins her $5,000. Bravo, bravo. But that gives us Simone and Utica in the bottom 2, lip syncing for their life to No Tears Left to Cry by Ariana Grande. Anytime there is an Ariana Grande song on here, I cringe a little because I can't understand a word she says. So I don't know how these queens are lip syncing to it when you don't know what the words are because of that. You kind of saw that with Utica. It's like being mush mouth, but that's exactly what Ariana Grande is giving us, mush mouth words. There are no words. When she sings, she just mumbles syllables. That being said, Utica did a great job on this lip sync. I thought she was fine at it. She didn't have a lot of chance to move around in this dress because it's so long, but she did what she could. Simone killed it though. She won the lip sync clearly. This is her forte. She made sense of the song. It wasn't a fast song. Neither of these queens are dancer queens, so they weren't going to do any tricks for us. And I have to say, once again, I love a lip sync when they are just up there lip syncing, emoting the song, and doing their thing. I don't need tricks. I don't like tricks. Tricks were a big thing years ago. I think hopefully we're past it, mostly. I don't think we're past it fully, but I'd be fine without tricks. Obviously, Simone won. They weren't going to send her home. If you see Rosé in the background, to me, this is their top two right here. Sorry, I'm going to take a drink of my tea. In my opinion, these are the top two queens of the season. And we will see them at the finale. That is just my opinion. I could be completely wrong. I mean, at this point, Candy Muse is already crowned the winner. Who knows? But that means we're saying goodbye to Utica. She flips off RuPaul in a joke, which was hysterical. So bravo to her for taking that moment and making the best of it. She was quick with it, and it was funny. Her message was, hey, goobers, I'm so happy to have you in my life now. To my new sisters, I love you so much and love yourself inside and out. Wiggle to the top, Utica. I'm so glad Utica was on this season. I really, really enjoyed her. I'm glad she made it this long. I think her fashion has been some of the best that we have had in Drag Race. And I think I loved everything she wore. I have to go back and really look at it, but I think I loved everything she wore. And she should have won the ball challenge. Sorry, got Mick. Utica should have won. Next week, we have RuPaul with a mustache and an ascot and some big old chunky glasses. I don't know what this look means. I don't know what it's for, but this is what RuPaul is going to look like. We also get a little zoom in from Miss Scarlett Johansson. We had Anne Hathaway earlier this season. Now we have ScarJo. So big names coming into Drag Race. It's another acting challenge, so this makes perfect sense why another actor is going to be here. And this acting challenge is called Henny, I Shrunk the Drag Queens. That is the name of our little skit that we're going to be doing, and I think it's going to be absurd and ridiculous. And based on this photo, I'm not going to be wrong. We have miniaturized versions of Simone, Gottmik, Olivia, and Rosé. Candy Muse is not in this picture, so I don't know if she's full size. Maybe she's the one that shrinks them. I don't know. But I think it will be stupidly entertaining. That is my guess for what's going to happen on next week's episode. That's all I have for you today. It was a quick recap because not a whole lot happened, but it was entertaining. It was an episode that I didn't hate. There were some rough moments in that roast, but there were also some good moments. So there you have it. Thank you all for watching and listening. Again, follow me on Instagram at Sashay Away with Barry, and you can toot and boot the looks of this week's runway when they are up either on Saturday or Sunday morning. I don't know which one. Hopefully tomorrow. We'll see. And if you are watching this, thank you for watching. If you don't want to watch it, you can listen to it in podcast form, and that is available on all your podcast platforms. Just search Sashay with Barry. If you're listening to it and want to see all the visuals that I put up here, including myself, you can follow that on YouTube at BHBrown13 on YouTube. That is my YouTube channel. Or you can just go to my website, sashayawaywithbarry.com, and everything is posted there. You can go through all the different tabs. Anything for season 13 is on the Drag Race tab. There's an international tab. There's a fantasy league team, blah, blah, blah. I can't talk at all. Fantasy league tab for the fantasy league for this season that you can check up on us and see how poorly I'm doing. Although I did move up one spot last week, into 4th from last place. Clearly, I'm not going to be winning that. But there's all kinds of stuff on there. You can even find my drag on there. You can find my drag on Sashay Away with Barry as well. I did a look today, and I was so happy with it. I think I'm so happy with it because I was actually happy doing it, and I hate putting on makeup. Those of you who know me know I am not a drag queen. I just enjoy doing drag, but I hate wearing makeup, so I don't do my whole full face most of the time unless I'm performing something. But I put on eyes and lips for when I just dress up at home for my own amusement. But I had fun getting ready, and then I had fun taking my pictures, and I love my little coat dress that I wore. So go check that out on Sashay Away with Barry. It's really, really good. Thanks. But thank you for watching. Please stay safe out there, wear your mask, wash your hands, social distance when possible, and be safe with yourself. We're gonna get through this pandemic. It is nothing but positive things ahead for us, and we will be back together soon. Thank you all. I will be back with Brian and possibly David. David's on vacation, so I'm not sure if he's going to be joining us this week for Toots and Boots, but we will be back on Tuesday to do that, either just Brian and I or all three of us. Thank you all. I love you. Goodbye.